All right. Hopefully that's better. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully it's working. All right. Let's see. I should have had my AirPods ready to go so I could check this. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me. Okay. JS, thank you. All right. What's going on, VTech? All right, so another introduction of what's going on right now, because now that y'all can actually hear me, welcome back. It's been a while since we did a live stream, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I got something out because, in case you weren't aware, this week is reInvent. So AWS's annual event where they release all kinds of cool technologies. A lot of cool stuff is coming. Excuse me, is coming out, and there was actually some stuff that was released last week by my team that I wanted to get my hands on, and I wanted to go through and check it out with you guys. So in this stream, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with SwiftUI. So we're going to be writing some Swift. We're going to be looking at how to add a map to SwiftUI using Amplify Geo. It's right now in developer preview, which means that you can check it out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to see like how easy or hard it is to get up and running, because it's using Amazon location service behind the scenes, and it's also rendering like map tiles and stuff using Esri or Here or one of those companies that are like pretty big and into the whole entire map space. But that's what we're going into today, and I kind of have like a new setup, so excuse like the weird whiting behind me. I'm currently streaming from a PC, but I'm coding on the Mac, so it's a whole new experience for me. So bear with me through any weird things that might happen, but yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's see. Let's make my head not so big, right? There we go, and we can see we can see everybody talking. So since we can see you, say hello. Let us know where you're viewing from. What time is it for you? All right. All right, JS. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, we're definitely going to be having a lot more Flutter, a lot more Android, and of course, my favorite, iOS. So yeah, feel free to stop back by and I'll have that for you. All right. Today we are working with iOS though. So I wanted to show you guys this. That if we go over to docs.amplify.aws, go to the iOS section, you can see that we have Geo, which is now available for developer preview, which means we get a sneak peek of it before it's completely finished. We get to kind of play with it, figure out, how it works, how it might work in our project, and if we can, get up and running with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the prerequisites. We're going to need iOS 13. iOS 13 and Xcode 12 or higher, and that's no problem for me. And then we're going to just go ahead and set this up. And since it is in preview, it looks like we still need to use this npm install. So I think I do have Amplify installed on my system. So what I'm going to do is no, not right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to uninstall Amplify the CLI from my command line so that I could have their preview part, and we could do that with Amplify uninstall. I think that works. Yes, we want to uninstall. It's uninstalled. Cool. Then we just need to install this one right here with npm whatever. I think I already copied it. Boom, like that. So this may or may not work in the past. Sometimes when I do the npm install stuff, like I have to use sudo or else it just fails. So forgot about that. But yeah. Tariq, thank you. Glad to be back. What's up, Jose? What is the main advantage for having AWS Geo functions? About to launch my app with the Apple built in. By geo functions. I'm not really sure what you mean by function. But let's go ahead and take a look at it while we're waiting for this. So Amplify, in case you're not familiar with AWS Amplify, all it is like an abstraction on top of AWS resources. So anything like any of the AWS resources that you're familiar with, maybe you're familiar with S3 for like file storage, or Cognito for user authentication, things like that. And what it does is it puts like a wrapper around that and makes it easier to interact with those services, and spins up those services for you using, like, following the best practices to spin up those resources, so that you can like just use whatever it is that you need for your app, right? Like if I want to sign in a user, then I use the auth category, which is going to use Cognito under the hood. I don't know how to set up Cognito like off the top of my head, so Amplify does it for me. And then it allows you to use all that flexibility of Cognito, and all that greatness, right? Like the scalability and things like that, reliability, security. So in terms of when to use this, right now I'm not really sure whether you should use this versus the native maps, right? Because that's what that's one aspect that we're gonna be looking at, is the maps. One thing that I did want to try out was, because it does look relatively simple to get up and running with SwiftUI, whereas I don't need to necessarily do a wrapper around a map view from UIKit or from MapKit, and then turn it into a SwiftUI view and then deal with that. That's one thing that I wanted to look at. And then I also wanted to see, like, in terms of functionality, where it's at and what we can do with it, because right now it's in developer preview, so I'm assuming that there's a lot more features to come, and that's kind of what we're going to find out today together. What's up, Flo? I am back. I'm back. I'm back. All right, let's see if this actually worked. Okay. Looks like it worked. Maybe. Can't really tell. Not used to NPM. But it looks like it worked. It didn't give me like a big red thing. So let's go ahead and clear that. And then amplify version. Okay, so yeah, we're running this Geo one right here, which is pretty cool. So then let's go ahead and take a look at the getting started. All right, from here on out, it looks like it's just like a regular Amplify project, where we simply set up our resources, and then we set up the libraries inside of our app. So let's go ahead and check that out real quick. This part I should be able to do from memory. I've done it a million times. All right, so this is the part where we do, well, first we need an Xcode project, right? Like, yeah, you can make an Xcode project, right? Like, all right. Let me see. We want to make a new project. We'll call this Expedition of Twitch. I don't know. Weird. Actually, most of you guys are on YouTube. I'll review Expedition. No, let's like the treasure. Buried. I don't even know how to spell buried. Buried treasure. Is that how you spell buried? Buried treasure. All right. I tried. Remember, you don't have to be a good speller to be a developer. All right. Here we go. So here we go. If I press resume, it's going to do something stupid, like do like a iPhone 6 or something like that. Do iPhone 13. Do resume. This going. All right, so we have our buried treasure project, assuming that's how you spell it. I think it might have 2 R's. Oh, man. Let's see. Jose says, I followed your videos on the AWS Amplify for my app, and it works great. Awesome. And yeah, wrapping the native Apple map is a little heavy. Yeah, so that was like one of the things that I'm kind of surprised that they haven't ported over to SwiftUI, is like the the ability to just like do like map view inside of SwiftUI. Like you have to like wrap it with all kinds of things. So kind of interesting that they haven't done that yet, but you know, I'm not on that team, so I'm not really making any contributions to help in the cause. So yeah. Anyways, let's get back over here. So what did I want to do? What was it that I was gonna do? Oh yeah. So what we want to do is we want to get to our directory. So I know that I have it in buried treasure. I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell buried. I'm pretty sure it has two R's. Buried. Buried alive, no, I guess. Oh, okay, I spelled it right. English is ugly. Woo, I hate it. It's the only language I know, though. Sad face. All right. Let me see. How do I... Got all my shortcuts. I forgot how to do the control thing. All right. So we're in buried treasure. Now I need to do amplify on it. All right, so enter a name for your project. We'll call it buried treasure. Initialize project. This is all the defaults. Looking pretty good to me. Yeah. We'll choose a profile. I like to choose this one because it never fails. You'll obviously just choose default. So the reason why, let me tell you a little bit about this line right here, why it says tutorial. So there are only so many Amplify projects that you could have at one time by default. And I believe the number is 25 projects. Now that's usually more than enough for most people. But since I'm a developer advocate and I'm constantly playing with Amplify and trying new things out, I'm constantly like building out different projects. And yeah, so if I choose if I set up a different profile, I could do it in a different region, which gives me an extra 25 projects. And I actually had my limit extended to 100, but I tend to cap that out, and then it ends up causing me problems when I do live streams. So that's why I'm doing this. But yeah, default will be fine for you most likely. All right, so Flo says, what hardware / software are you running nowadays for your stream? I think you mentioned an M1 Mac Mini a few months ago. Yeah, so I hate my M1 Mac Mini, what I'm coding on right now, but it doesn't do anything else for me. Well, so what I ended up doing was I bought a PC. It's like I think it's like an upper mid-tier PC that I built, and that's what I'm streaming off of. And what I'm doing is I'm actually capturing my Mac Mini's screen into my PC and then streaming that to you guys. That's also why this green screen hasn't been set up properly, which is why you have like this little white area right here. I still need to work on that. But yeah, that's the current setup right now. All right, so we have our Amplify project initialized. Now we need to actually choose which resources we want to add to it. So I could do clear, and then I'll do Amplify, add Geo. Now I did go through this before. I'm a little bit familiar with it. And what we know is that right now they have documentation for both the map part and the location part, but not the geofencing part. So we probably could set up some type of geofencing, but we'd have to stumble our way around in order to like get it to work if it's been implemented. But what we're going to do is we're going to be working with both map and location search. So map is going to be using a open source library called MapLibre, and that is going to be using like information from companies called Here and Esri, some of the bigger companies that are known in like the map geolocation space, I guess. So that's where That's why we have to specify map, is because we're going to need those resources. But I'm also going to look into the location search, which is going to use another branch of, or some other resources under the hood. So that's why you have to add them individually, from my understanding. So we're going to actually have to go through this process twice. So we're going to have to add map, and then we're going to have to come back and add location search. All right, so geocategory resource requires Amazon Cognito. So we can set that up. Default configuration, username. No, I am done. So it seems to be like the same type of security that storage needs, where you have to have Cognito set up. We don't care about the map name. I don't want to go through the authorization part yet. So let's go ahead and do authorized and guest users so that we don't have to sign in order to use this thing. Let's see. Are you tracking or directing commercial assets from your business? No, not doing that. Do you want to configure advanced settings? No. I don't know what else. All right, so those were the steps. Now let's do Amplify Status just so that you can see what's up. And when we show Amplify Status, it'll show you all the categories that have been set up for you. So remember, when we went through this process, we were adding Geo. That's the category that we added. Geo requires that we use auth, so it also initialized auth. And this is going to essentially set up a Cognito thing for us in the back end, and then this will set up some type of Amazon location service plus Esri type situation in the back end. Then we need to go ahead and do Amplify add again, add Geo again, and for the reasons that I had mentioned before, right? And then we're going to do the location search, provide a name for the location. Okay, so this is all like the guest users too. No, I'm not doing any of that. And then so this is going to allow us to like actually search for locations, and then we'll be able to plot those on the map. So now when I do Amplify push, because all this configuration has been set up locally, this is just essentially a way to use CloudFormation, and CloudFormation is just like a service that allows you to spin up AWS resources with different configurations. That's all this is doing. It's setting up some type of CloudFormation document to send to our backend and say, hey, these are the resources that we need to spin up with all the configurations. Here you go. So now we want to continue. Yes. And you can see that we have the map that was added and the place index, which I'm guessing that's the name for searching, location searching. Oh, wow. Why don't you directly record your Mac? Isn't it too laggy? Is it too laggy? So I haven't decided what I want to do in terms of recording. But yeah, it was like I was having all kinds of problems whenever I was trying to stream from my M1, and it just became such a nuisance that I was like, you know what, I need something that's just gonna simplify my life. So I bought a PC, and yeah, that's what I'm streaming on. So I'll get all the lighting and stuff figured out. I just need like a third light behind me so that it can like get the rest of this without shadows, because that's what you're kind of seeing, is the fact that there's a shadow there. So that shadow is kind of causing that problem. But yeah, overall, just needed something that's a little bit more reliable, something that I'm not going to have issues with, and then I could just use my Mac Mini for iOS development, and I can use my PC for everything else, and it should be good. Should be good. All right. So in the meantime, we got this set up. What we could do is we could jump back into our project, start adding the Swift packages, right? So we go File, Add Package, and this is the one that we're going to need, this Amplify iOS. Generally, you would just grab this this URL. You can grab it from the docs too, assuming. Where you at? Okay. Right here, this URL right here. You're going to copy it, go back over to Xcode, you paste that bad boy in there, and it's going to pop up right here. Oh, well, this is Amplify iOS. What we want, app one. This is getting started, but I want them. So, actually this one. And in terms of like being able to search for packages, doesn't seem to work as well as Xcode 12. I don't know about y'all, if y'all have tried to search for packages in the new Xcode, but it doesn't seem to work that well. So highly recommend using URL. But yeah, so we're going to add these two. We're going to need both of them. We're going to need the Amplify iOS packages because we need to actually configure them. And then there's also like the geo aspects of it are like whenever we do like amplify.geo.search, it's going to be coming from this Amplify package. So we're going to need Cognito because it requires Cognito. We're going to need location geo plugin, and we'll need Amplify. Then we're going to need to actually render the maps, which is like more of a UI component, and that's going to be the Amplify iOS Map Libre package. So we add that one too, and I think we're going to add, it has two package options. We're going to add both of them. All right, so we add these two package options. We're like, oh yes, here we go. Now, if we take a look at our terminal, should be done. Yep, the resources have been added successfully. All we need to do now is just go ahead and configure Amplify. That will be like the end of the getting started part. So amp, have a couple of these snippets pre-created for me. So this is if I just wanted to add authorization, right? Or authentication. Can't remember what one it actually stands for, but yeah, auth, right? So we need to import AWS Cognito auth plugin. And then, excuse me, we also need to import Amplify. Bam. That will resolve these issues right here. And then we're going to need to import and add the AWS, what is it called? Geo or location geo plugin right here. And that's going to be the last plugin that we need to add right here. So amplify.add AWS location geo plugin like so. And then last but not least, of course, we need to call that function. That's one of the things that I tend to always forget whenever I'm live streaming is like I forget to call the function. Didn't forget it that time. Don't worry, I'll forget something later. So what we'll do is now that we're going to run this function as soon as the app spins up, we're looking for this successfully configured Amplify message. Let us know that, hey, we were able to communicate with the backend. Our plugins have been added correctly, all that good stuff, right? So let's take a look. Where's my simulator? Right there. But yeah, like one thing that I did want to know from chat is have you worked with Amplify before? Or have you never touched Amplify before? So let me know that. In the meantime, let's look at these logs. Get a success. Okay. So we did not get a success. This is actually the error could not configure Amplify, and the reason is because it doesn't have access to this configuration file. So those configuration files are extremely important. It looks like it wasn't added to it by itself, but so I have to add them manually. Fortunately, go to add those manually. Not like that. add file. And they're going to be in the root of our project. So these two files, need both of them, I believe. And both of those are the files that were generated by our CLI commands. And go ahead and run in. All right, successfully configured Amplify, which means that both auth and the geo categories have been successfully configured. You should be able to move on to like the actual juicy stuff. So started with actually location search has like good stuff in it. So with location search, it has docs that cover how to set this up, and it looks like we're just working with two different views. We have a map view, which is on bottom, and then a search bar on top. And we're just using a Z-stack. So let's go ahead and go implement that in our content view. And have our Z-stack, and we're going to need, I know that we're going to need to import like the Amplify something, Map Libre UI. Know that. Amplify Map Libre UI. And then we can do the Amplify Map Libre map view, right? And how do we initialize this? With a map state. All right, let's go ahead and do it at state. I don't really know this object, so let's go ahead and map view. So var AML map view state. Well, first you have to things right. Var map state is equal to map view state, and then we initialize this bad boy. It looks like it takes in a lot of different properties. Okay, so putting everything on a separate line because this is just. This looks like it's going to be the object that controls the map in its entirety. Okay. Map view. Okay, I can't figure out this just by looking at it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the docs, how they've set it up. Okay, so they start off with just a default map view state. Interesting. And then they, yeah, okay. This is an interesting way to go about it. Okay. I could see how this works. Have our map state, pass in that map state. So, and then we have our search bar. This is an AML, Amplify Map Libre search bar. Was it? Interesting. Okay. One can take a look at it afterwards. So this is generally like how I like to try to do things, is like without the documentation. General. I try to figure it out without the documentation because I don't like to read. And then go from there. I'm also going to come back and like redo some of this and put it in like a view model. But right now, search text like that equal to just a string, and then we can do $ search text like that. Display state. So this is a binding of display state. So if it's binding, that means it's going to be like also, yeah, I think it's going to be a state variable, right? A state property wrapper, state var sec. What's going on, my yank? And this is going to be the display state. Display state to AML search bar dot display state dot. Oh, okay. Interesting. So we have display. Let's do map, maybe. We'll do display state like that. Then on commit, let's just print commit. I don't know what this does. And then right here, cancel. Okay, so we have that, and I remember that it also had the alignment top. Means that this, oh, and this needs to edge sets more all. This is gonna have some padding. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at this because know what's gonna happen. I think this is exactly what they had though. All right. Here's okay. So on commit. Oh, okay. And okay. Got it. Okay, so have it here. And there we go. So it looks like it's defaulting to Seattle, so probably like AWS headquarters, whatever. Now, how do I show current location? Probably under maps, right? Map state. Sure. Okay, show user location. How does that work? So we can do dot show your location true. What happens when we do this? It doesn't have access to the location. Okay, so it crashes. It's kind of what I expected. Okay, so terminating due to uncaught exception to use NS location description and the info P list. I actually like crashing it like that because it gives you the exact thing that you need to paste in there instead of having to search for it. Okay, let's go to the info.p list. I can remember how to get there now that things are all weird. All right. Should be able to just paste it in here, and I think that it recognizes. Oh, has to be the actual thing. Let's do that. Yeah, look at, see, like if you paste it. So that's one thing in case you didn't know. If you know the actual name of the key and then you paste it into the info.plist, it will automatically choose like the human readable name, and it will put it right there in the info.plist for you. So yes, need dat location, homie. What's going on, bro? Good to see you again. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. All right, let's see if we did the right thing. Allow while using app. Perfect. Okay, so don't know if I even want to show my location. That might be weird. Freezing up. Moving kind of slow. Not liking the performance so far. I wonder if it's any better on an actual device. Let me see if I can plug. There we go. Whew. All right. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone and see. Oops. There. I want to see if the performance is the same because simulator it's like really slow. Yeah. There will be a live broadcast on Flutter. I don't know. I wasn't really planning on covering anything on Flutter. Why? What would you like to see on Flutter? There's some cool stuff coming out from Amplify that I know is supposed to come out this week. One of the things is Flutter related, so I know I'm going to be covering that for sure. Oh man. All right, so I won't be able to check this right now. All right, off the bat, the simulator with this thing is definitely slow. Not ideal. Hoping that it's faster on a device, because if it's not, then might not be up to snuff yet. Get out of that developer preview. All right, let's go ahead on this back simulator. So it's using the current location, and I think that there's a way to actually change that. Anybody remember how to do that? Change the location. Might be in Xcode itself. Paths. Maybe that's not. Probably not. Navigation, maybe. It's been a while since I worked with maps. My bad. No, there was something where you added like a. All right. So what I could do, because I don't really want to show y'all my location of my house anyway. We'll work with whatever is here And I think the default location for the iPhone is somewhere in Chino place, somewhere in the Bay Area. Yep. Okay, cool. Whoa, zoomed out way too much. Okay, cool. Actually, I should be able to just double click, right? Let's see, like double tap should work. Okay. It's working. A little bit laggy, but working. Okay, yeah. This seems right. Based off of what I can remember about the default location, it puts you in like the middle of San Francisco where there's like I don't know, it seems like a really hipster type area where there's like coffee shops and stuff like that. Okay, location is in the debug menu bar. Oh, I don't see it there, but it's okay. Like I said, I didn't want to share my actual location anyways. This is perfectly fine because I know that this is like the location, the default location for simulators. You open up your Xcode, you run a simulator, you try to get the location, this is what it shows, something like this. Okay, so now no, we have okay, so we did the whole little thing. Uh Now unfortunately, fortunately, it's not the responsibility of MapLibre or Amplify to provide the location to you, the user's current location to you. So in order for me to actually get the coordinates, I would have to do this whole entire coordinate code. Like I'd have to like do the whole called core location stuff. So, and I don't even know a helicopter flying over. I don't even remember how to do that off the top of my head, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. Should we do it in a different file? Let's do it in a different file. Nasty code by itself. Just going to be a Swift file. Uh, location service. I don't know. And we are going to need to import core location. UI. Okay, so for core location, first we want to make a service, so it's going to be a class location service. Let's see how well I can remember some of this. Now it's probably going to need to be an NS object. You need to conform to some type of protocol, but we'll get to that later. We have our location service, then we need to get the location manager. CL location manager. Sounds right. Our location manager. CL location manager. Yeah. Okay. So then you need a function to request location. To location manager dot request. location. Okay. Then we need to have a delegate. What delegate? Location manager delegate. It's all falling into place. This is awesome. Okay. Did update locations? What's up? Okay, and also something about location accuracy. Desired accuracy is gonna be right. Desired accuracy is like K best accuracy or something like that. All right. Yeah. DC. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so then we have our manager. Just doing all this from memory. Let's see. First, we need to get the first location. So guard let location is equal to locations.first, else return. Or is it last? I think it might have been last was the best one. And then after we do that, we want the manager to stop updating location. And then we want to hang on to that location. Dang, I can't even believe that I remember this stuff. Crazy. Okay, so the current user coordinates CL like 2D something. Yeah, there we go. Optional. And we will do self dot current user coordinates are equal to location dot coordinate. I think that's it, guys. I think that's how you get the current user's location. Hold up. Location manager.delegate is equal to self. There we go. I knew something was going to be missing. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I am surprised with myself. Hooray for me. All right, so we have an object. You can just do object, right? So location service is equal to location service, which we created. And then, oh, we need a way to, hold up. Let's see, we do request location. Then we can add combine here. Combine. Then we can make it a location publisher. Ooh, what's up? Coordinate publisher, current user coordinate publisher. Var current coordinate publisher. this is going to be, let's see, how do you ever make that? This is a pass-through subject, pass subject, CL coordinate. I think that might be how you do it. Eric, no. All right. Got one, but expected two. Never. There we go. Okay. Okay. Right. So then what we would do is coordinates publisher dot send location dot coordinate. What? Ha! Okay. This is working. Things are kind of falling into place. I like it. I think I could have also done an observable object, right? Suppose I could have done that. This felt like the right way. All right, so get current user location. That. Then what we're going to do is with our location service, and we need to also import combine here. Right? Import combine the set of tokens, var tokens, any cancelable that cool beans. Then from here, what do? We do location service dot coordinates publisher dot receive on main thread, receive on dispatch queue dot main, like that. Do the sync, right? We have the coordinate, right? We do something with those coordinates. Let's print them. Then we store in tokens, like so. Right? Location service, coordinates publisher, receive on the main thread, print those coordinates. What we actually want to do is we want to update this display, the map state center, I'm guessing. So self.mapstate.center is equal to coordinates. That work? If it works, it's gonna blow my mind. Oh crap, it works. Okay, so assuming that I know what I'm doing, that's a big assumption. On up here, assuming that I know what I'm doing, we want to get the current user location as soon as the map loads up. Then we're going to be observing the coordinate publisher and actually location service dot actually, you know what would be even sexier is if we do that. What would be even sexier is if as soon as we created this object, it immediately starts trying to get that location. So during the init super dot init, remember because it's an NS object, we need to make sure that we can keep request location. Yes, override. It's been a minute since I worked with classes like this. Yeah. This works, I'm gonna just so happy. Okay, so delegate must respond to did fail with error. Okay. Oh. So the problem here is that we didn't entirely conform to this location manager delegate, which is kind of weird. Usually it does usually it lets you know. But they did a lot of revisions to Xcode, and I'm not sure if it can catch everything. Are we in San Francisco? I think this means that it worked. Nope. Didn't work. I also need to make sure that it's well, hold on, let's make sure that we're getting the location. So you print coordinates. So okay, got that. Okay, so it's not working, and it's not even getting to this point, and I think it might be because I have this random class inside of this struct. Okay, so I don't know too much about this, but it might be that state object might need to be observable. I bet you that this works. I bet this code works. It's just I'm missing observable. Let's just make it conform to observable object and see what happens. Pretty sure that's the problem. Observable object. Shouldn't be any problems. This looks different. Bart, I see Bart. I know that's part of whatchamacallit. Okay, so we are now officially updating our location to San Francisco. Cool. All right, so let's see. So we were able to display the map, get it to use the simulator's current location, and now what I want to do is I want to try out this search functionality, but like I need some coffee anyway. But that works. Don't know what this does. I think this is actually to show a list. I think this is meant to, okay, we'll play with that too. Okay. If you can only listen to updates on an observable object, I think. So that was probably the issue. A view can only listen to updates on an observable object. Yes. I think my confusion is the fact that it's not necessarily the object that's changing, and I kind of expected it to work because we're using a publisher. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking that since the publisher is receiving updates, that somehow it magically knows. But obviously, like, this is a very important part of it. So yeah, I have to look into that a little bit further. Why? But what you're saying, Flo, is absolutely correct. Wouldn't get updated otherwise. Since the view is a struct, its member location service wouldn't get updated. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I guess I just don't understand exactly what is happening under the hood of at state object or observable object. And that is where I'm kind of having the mismatch. I understand the value thing, I understand the updating thing. Like, if it was a published property, I would totally not expect it to work. Right? I guess the way that I think about publishers is like they are this pipeline. But I think the way that I understand that pipeline is maybe a little bit too literal. Like, oh, it's a pipeline. One thing goes in, another, and it comes out somewhere else, and that's what's being observed. Like, I'm expecting like this to just have some magic right here, right? Like dot coordinates publisher. I'm expecting it to just have some magic where it's like it's letting this view know that, hey, it got updated. But that's obviously not the case. So that's why there was a mess up in my brain. The magic behind an observable object is that it has the object will change publisher that is called every time one of its values. So without observable object, the view would need. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. Because I've played with that too. I use that as a workaround for like using protocols. So I want to check something out. So the entire thing is like the view doesn't know when to update. So it was something I was gonna do. It's been a while since I tried it. Let me see. It would be something like see, location, maybe it's location service, coordinate service dot. There's also like you can call that method manually. I've done that before, but that's okay. Whatever. It works. Whatever. If it works, right? I need to brush up on my SwiftUI skills. At least I knew what the problem, like I knew where the problem was and we were able to figure it out. So at least there's that. At least I knew something. I thought object will only worked on at published bars. So I think that's kind of like the understanding that I had too. I think that's how I was thinking about it. If I'm understanding you correctly. Yeah, view model object will change dot send. I used that as well for property wrapper ones. Yeah, that's exactly what I used. That's exactly what I use. Object will change dot send, and do the updates manually. That's cool though. I wonder if I still need NS object. Does it make it an NS object now? Hold up. Gotta learn some stuff right now. Any object, that's a protocol. Oh, it's a protocol. That definitely will not. NS object. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a protocol. What are you thinking? Huh. What are you thinking, Billy boy? Yeah, location. Yeah, it needs to be an NS object. But what I was checking was for some reason I was thinking like, oh, does NS object or does observable object make it into an NS object so that we could just omit one of the like inherited whatevers. But it doesn't. It's just a protocol. Okay, so we got a couple of things working, but we still got a little bit of a ways to go. So next is to actually implement the search functionality, right? And I saw this in the document. Search. I'll just call it search. I don't know what else to put it. Search. Okay. App state. Okay. What docs are we looking at? We're looking at the map docs, and we want to look at that location service docs. Oh, they called it search too. Yeah, no clever names. Okay, so the search area, search options. But all we really need to do is just amplify geo.search. All right, amplify.geo.search. Oh, we didn't even have to do all that other stuff. Hold up. What were the other options? So we can search for a string, we can search for coordinates, we can search for a string with options. Coordinates with options. Okay. So the coordinates is like reverse lookup, right? Like you tap on a place and then you want to know like what's there. Yeah, that makes sense. Search for a string, but we want search options. So first we need to pass in the search text. That's simple enough. But this is the part that they were showing in the documentation. Right here. Oh, man. Dang, dude. Have y'all noticed this indent? Like, why does it step down? Like, the second argument, this is definitely not what I want. This is what I want. Why does it do that? Hate that. Let's see. All right, so let options geo.search for text options. Visualize that with what? What's going on, Dave? Popping in saying what's up. Have fun with the project. I've been deep in the SwiftUI these days, but never done anything with AWS. Yeah, that's what we're kind of messing with. I work at AWS, so that's what I'm always playing with, and yeah, like pretty cool stuff for setting up backends. Makes it relatively easy. My guess is Xcode interprets for as the key, or as the key. Oh, Oh, you think so? For real? That would be terrible. Like this is a typical first name argument for a Swift function. You know what I mean? I'm gonna test your theory right now. We're gonna make a separate function. We're gonna test it out. But first, I need to get these options in. Oh, look at we could test it for this one. It doesn't have any weird like words, right? So area. See, country should be lined. Oh, okay. Okay, see, you were totally right. Or is the problem. Now, if I only knew how to help with that. Is that a Swift compiler thing you think? Or like cannot find Geo in scope. So Geo is gonna come probably from like what our adapter or something like that. Import Amplify adapter, maybe? Okay, hold up. Weird's happening for sure. This should work. Okay. Suspicious there. Oh, we actually don't have Amplify. Good. So it was Amplify that we didn't have. We obviously are going to need locally. All right. So, search area. I saw that this was like near, right? Near, and then we should be able to do map state dot user location. Oh, um, but this is we have to do some nil coalescing or something like that. So we could do map state user location flat map. Boop, 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 boop. And we can do something like dot near right, that should work. Optional argument. In countries, no, don't need that. Max results, let's just do like plugin options, don't need that. Okay, so I got the two arguments that I want. Whoa. That was kind of cool. Then we pass in our options. And then we have something that's being passed in. So these are, I think, places, right? In print places. Yeah, so it's a result of geo places. Okay, so it's a result. So then we'll do result and guard case dot, or actually we could do, yeah, guard case dot success. Let places is equal to result else return. We'll do this. Separator. So then we have our places. And how do we add this to maybe the map state? I'm guessing map state dot features. Places? Something like this? Something like this. I remember something like this. Docs. How do we do it? Map Libre create features. Okay. Amplify map. This is map Libre. Amplify map Libre. That's part of the adapter. Amplify map libre list. So let's go ahead and import that adapter. Maybe it's in there. Import amplify adapter. Create features and have some places like that. Let's see, because in the beginning, 4 was actually highlighted in pink. Ah, okay, you caught that. I didn't even catch that. But that flat map solution is also, would that crash at runtime if user location is nil? No, it would not. And the reason for that is because it is accepting. The only reason why this works is because it's either going to give you the thing that you want or it's going to give you nil, right? So this is still returning an optional value. It's still it's still equivalent to an optional value, and in this case, it's still a CL location coordinate 2D object, but it's optional. So that's what it's doing. And if we take a look at the init, it should be optional. Yeah. Okay. You see how it's optional and it's and the default argument is equal to nil. It's kind of small. Hopefully you can see that, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite things to do. I didn't learn this until after I started learning Kotlin. It's not called flat map in there. It's called let, like how we have let. Um, but yes, this is really cool. So like if you have one object, which is our user location, which is a 2D coordinate, right? And it's optional, and then you need to convert it into something else. In this case, we wanted to convert it into a search area object, right? And a search area object can only be created with an unwrapped location or coordinate. We use flatmap to do that. So yeah, play with it. I guarantee you will start using this a lot. Out of map, compact map, and flat map, that is the one that I never use. Yeah. So map is cool. Compact map's pretty cool. Flat map, you write this line of code. Write this line of code with any example you want to use, and I guarantee you'll start using it a lot more. It's an awesome feature. It's one of my favorite features of Swift. Yeah, compact map gets you the array without the nil objects. I've used that one a lot with I think combine. Combine's like a really good. Combine's where you use compact map a lot, I think. But yeah, use flat map somewhere. Try it out on like just a basic scenario. Maybe I should make a video on it, but yeah, like try it out, and I guarantee you it's going to change the way that you write code. Like, oh yeah, I could just convert it to this thing, but if not, then it's nil. Yay. You do like guard statement, right? Like guard let this statement. All kinds of stuff. But yeah, one of my favorite features. Okily dokily. So this should work. And we're using combine right there. We're using closures right here. That's okay. Dispatch queue dot main async. And we'll wrap this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I did the wrong thing. All right, so we want to make sure that this is happening on the main queue. Let's run it, and run it all we want. It's still not going to work unless we actually tie it to something. So for the commit, we need to do search, and then interesting. So when you do cancel, it will actually remove all those places. I see what they did. This is what was in their code. It was map state dot features equal to this. Now I want to take a look at features real quick. MGL point feature. So I'm assuming that's a point map. We'll take a look at this in a little bit, but yeah. Okay, so when we hit search, it should search this information. We should get back a list of places. Then we should get some features on the map, assuming that it does have built-in default features. I also did see something about choosing the feature image, so choosing the marker image. So let's see, on coffee, pressing enter to commit. Need my keyword. Oh, they did pop up right there. Damn, that's a lot of coffee places. It is San Francisco, though. Okay, so it looked like it worked. Oh, does it not? It's still laggy, but that clustering too. Yeah, I need to try this out on like a real device to see if it's actually this laggy. Because if it is, then we definitely need to have something changed. But clustering's actually kind of a pain in the butt if you've ever worked with it. So come on, zoom in. Yeah, I need to for sure check this out on a real device and see if it cannot be like this. This is like let's go. Now I'm jumping all over the place. Oh, because I'm moving them. Just trying to recorrect. Okay, so this looks like it's kind of working, even though this is freezing up. I want to clear this. Map state features should not have to happen in a dispatch queue, right? Where? There you are. Okay, so this didn't work. Could potentially be on a background thread. Oopsie. Oh, is it? So maps just kind of suck in the simulator, huh? Oh, okay. And it probably works good. See if I could get it back on my phone. I don't know why I can't do it on my phone right now. Like that's so annoying. That's always been like the issue that I've ran into. Like you run into something like this, unable to prepare iPhone for development. Please check the connection to the device and review all errors. Yeah, dude, it's connected. Like, chill. Maybe it was just like a bad insert that time, maybe? Maybe. Because it didn't give me the prompt to trust this computer, which sometimes it does, but it's not doing it right now. Sure. This is like an actual iPhone cable too. Bummer. Okay. Like I said, like this could be totally related to just me using a Mac Mini on the M1. Like I run into problems like this all the time, which is like this is like another reason why I switched. What API are you using? So right now we're taking a look at Amplify Geo from AWS Amplify, just recently released. It's in developer preview, and that's what we're playing with right now. Um, okay, so let's see. We have the map kind of working. It looks like it works. It probably works better on an actual device, but in the simulator, just is just terrible, terrible. And from Flo's experience working with maps in the simulator, not not the best experience ever. So if you want to test out a map, test it on a real device. My understanding. But yeah, it looks like it's working. What else could we search for? I could go for a cheeseburger. Cheeseburger. Oh, this thing where I actually have or do this go. Just not responding. Work with coffee. Let's see. Pizza. Enter even work? Another thing I don't know if it enters actually. Oh yeah, okay, so enter does work. Just wanted to look at that. Okay. Have that. Oh, okay, cool. So there's a Pizza Hut. I'm actually not that huge of a fan of Pizza Hut. California Pizza Kitchen sounds pretty amazing right now, though. Chinos. Chino. I don't know. I don't know the second word. Trattoria. Is that it reading? Don't judge. What happened? All right, California Pizza Kitchen. Cool. We got that one. Um, how do I detect a tap though? Not sure how. I don't know. I have to get my iPhone working first, and then I'll have to come back and play with this. All right. Anyways, it looks like this part of the search is working. You can show it on a map. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to toggle this display state, and I want to show a list. So that should be relatively easy to do. If display state is equal to map, show the map view. Else, show a list view. Scroll view, list view. I think it's insane I think it's insane that in order for you to have a scrollable list view that is performant, you have to do this. It blows my mind. You have to do scroll view, lazy, H stack, and then you have to do a for each. What in the heck? That is crazy. But that's just me. What do I know? Okay, map state dot features. For each, let's see if we do map state dot feature ID. Outer MGL map point. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see. We do self. Feature in. Allow me. Feature dot. Okay. Okay. Attributes, coordinate, title. Boom. Okay. Hold up. Does label have a sublabel? Label? Just title? Yeah, it's pretty much the same. All right, let's see. Unknown. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. And now when we toggle between the two display views, we should be able to get like different things to pop up. So coffee was working, pizza was working for us. Pizza, we do enter. Should see some type of pizza places pop up on the map. Boom. Do this. Kind of. This was a B stack. Close. We also didn't make it look sexy, so that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Pizza. And enter. Get our pizza places, boom, and then we get our lists. Okay, so the title comes with all that information in it. Oh, weird, that should not be. What else do they have in there? Feature. AML, Geo place, no. Attributes. Might be under attributes. I bet it's under attributes. So it's probably like you're probably going to have to do attributes and then grab some other like sub value. That is how one of the that's like how one of the things works when you're searching. What was it? When you get search results back using like the native mapkit stuff. That's how you have to pull them. Ah. All right. Boom. Unknown. Okay, so there's no subtitle. What we could do, if we really wanted to, we could do title, dot components separated by a comma dot first. And this will actually work. So then we'll just get like the names of the places. So let's go ahead and throw pizza one more time. Enter. Boom. And boom. Okay. So it does work. A lot of Domino's and Round Table pizzas out there. Oh, what is that? Loaded. Not sure. Let's see. Probably because it's being initialized. Might not be a good idea to reinitialize it. Okay. But yeah. So I don't know if you're supposed to reinitialize this. Maybe it can only take one. And then what you would do is you would just layer this on top of it. So we would just do this. What? This list. Now I wonder if there is, so there's an AML map view. There's like a list view. AML list. Oh. Okay. Okay, hold up. Places. Map state dot places dot features dot features. Maybe. Where did we put those places? We put them somewhere. Amplify map libre create features. So amplify, hold up. Amplify map libre. Hold up, hold up, hold up. We could do something right here. Hold up. Initialize this. It needs places. Geo dot places. So you do one of two things. Hang on to the actual places that are returned. Geo dot place. Geo dot place dot init. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. This is way too hard to create by yourself. Okay, so AML place list. That. List. This is. Add it down here. State var places. Geo dot place. So Do places. Here we would also do places dot equal to this. Keep that consistent. Stop doing that. Go. And then when we get those places, we just add them to that places thing. So we do places. We do self.places is equal to places self dot places is equal to places. So okay, let's take a look. Pizza. Pizza. Enter. Get like 4 locations. Then do list. Okay, look at that. And it's already out of the way. Okay, man. I see you. Oh, okay. That's not too bad, all right. That's not too bad. If we could go back to map. I don't know what's up with my cursor. Why is it staying like that? That's all right. That's all right. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you right there. Okay. So, I think that's gonna be it. This stream was a lot longer than I thought it would be. But yeah, had a good time. Learned a couple of new things. We were working with Amplify Geo, the developer preview. We were able to add this map using SwiftUI. It's actually relatively short, the amount of lines of code that you have to write. D-stack just to get stuff layered up. That's how you create a map using Amplify Geo. This is how you create a list using Amplify. And then this is how you create the search bar. In terms of getting the user location, that's the same as ever. In terms of searching, this is how you would search for something. Pretty straightforward. This is less than 100 lines of code. I mean, let's see. We didn't include this, which we probably could have, but I don't know any other way to get around getting location. So this is 37 lines of code. This is 86 lines of code. So like 140 lines of code in total. Maybe less because short statements are a little bit redundant, extra spaces. But yeah, okay. So that was pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream. Thanks for coming to hang out. I had fun being back on streams, but be on the lookout because we're going to be covering a lot more cool stuff. I'm going to work on this setup, make sure that you get the nice green screen effect and everything like that. And yeah, but yeah, thanks everybody for coming to hang out. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and most importantly of all, make sure you go out there and you keep coding passionately. Lines of code right there. Pretty good.